How do you know if an avoidant man is actually emotionally invested in you? It's incredibly difficult to read because they don't express investment like other men. You're not getting grand gestures, love declarations, or clear signals, but they do show it. You just have to know what to look for. Avoidant men have their own way of showing they care, and it's completely different from what you'd expect. They have specific behaviors that reveal when they've moved from casual interest to genuine emotional investment. These signs are subtle, but once you recognize them, you'll see exactly where you stand. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll share the one sign that's so revealing, most people only discover it by accident, and it involves how he reacts to other men in your life. This sixth sign will completely change how you interpret his behavior. The first thing you'll notice about an avoidant man who's emotionally invested is how he talks to you. He won't tell you he loves you every day, but he'll mention that his boss was annoying during the morning meeting. He'll complain about traffic on his way home. He'll tell you his car needs repairs or that his upstairs neighbor is being too loud again. For most people, this sounds like nothing special, but for an avoidant man, sharing these everyday details is his version of intimacy. He's letting you into his real world, not just the polished version he shows everyone else. You'll notice he doesn't share these mundane details with his other friends or even family members the same way he does with you. When he texts you about his boring Tuesday or calls to complain about something minor at work, he's actually saying you're part of his daily life now. This isn't just small talk. It's his way of including you in who he really is. He's trusting you with the ordinary moments that actually make up most of his existence. The second sign is even more revealing. Pay attention to what he remembers about you. An avoidant man who's emotionally invested starts paying closer attention to everything you say. You'll mention that you have a dentist appointment next week, and he'll actually ask how it went. You'll complain about a difficult coworker on Monday, and he'll bring it up again on Friday to see how things are going. This isn't coincidence or good manners. While he might forget to acknowledge anniversaries or say romantic things, he's storing away details about your life with surprising accuracy. You'll find yourself thinking, I can't believe he remembered that, more often than you'd expect. When he asks about the friend you mentioned having problems with, or remembers the work project you were stressed about weeks ago, he's showing you that your words actually matter to him. The third indicator is when he starts including you in activities he normally does alone. Every avoidant man has his own space, specific activities, places, or routines that belong only to him. When he begins inviting you into these areas, that's significant. You'll know you're seeing real investment when he suggests you come to his regular gym, asks if you want to join his weekly grocery shopping, or invites you along for his Sunday morning coffee routine. This goes way beyond just wanting to spend time together. He's actually reshaping his carefully organized solo life to include another person. For someone who values independence above almost everything else, this is huge. Pay attention to how he acts in these spaces when you're there. If he seems relaxed, if he's not trying to impress you or put on a show, if he's just being normal around you in his personal environment, that shows he's comfortable having you in his private world. Number 4, watch how he reacts when you're less available than usual. An avoidant man will never directly tell you he needs you around, but his behavior will give him away. When you don't respond to his texts as quickly as normal, he might send another message a few hours later with some casual follow-up. When you have to cancel plans, you'll catch a quick flash of something, disappointment, maybe irritation, cross his face before he says, "No problem, we'll do it another time." Watch for these moments when his controlled exterior slips just a little bit. When you mention being busy with work or spending time with friends, when you're not as emotionally available as he's gotten used to, an invested avoidant man will try to play it cool, but you'll see glimpses of discomfort. This isn't about him being controlling or possessive. It's genuine concern about losing something he's gotten attached to, even though he'd never say that out loud. The fifth sign is when he starts making plans for the future, even small ones. For an avoidant man, thinking ahead with someone else is risky territory. It implies expectations and emotional investment, things he usually avoids. But when he's genuinely attached to you, you'll start hearing casual mentions of future activities. Next weekend, we could try that new restaurant. There's a concert next month I think you'd enjoy. We should plan a weekend trip sometime. These aren't major romantic commitments or grand declarations. They're small acknowledgements that he sees you being part of his life going forward. Notice how naturally these references come up in conversation. When he's thinking ahead and automatically including you without making a big deal about it, that's meaningful. Even something as simple as planning next week's dinner together represents a shift from "let's see what happens" to "I want this person in my future." Here's the sixth thing to watch for, that sign I mentioned at the beginning. A subtle shift in how he reacts to other men in your life. An emotionally invested avoidant man will never throw jealous fits or make dramatic demands, but his awareness of male competition definitely increases. He might start asking more questions about your male co-workers or friends, paying closer attention to your answers than normal curiosity would explain. Watch his body language when other men are around you. He won't cause scenes or make possessive statements, but you might notice him standing a little closer, jumping into group conversations more often, or finding small reasons to make physical contact with you. It's jealousy, but wrapped in his typical subtle style. This isn't traditional insecurity, it's the unfamiliar feeling of having something valuable that he could potentially lose. Finally, the most telling sign of all is something you might only hear about from other people. An avoidant man who's emotionally invested will defend you when you're not around. Other people might mention that he spoke well of you, that he shut down someone's criticism, or that he corrected negative assumptions about your relationship. This kind of loyalty reveals something important. You've become part of how he sees himself. He's not just protecting you, he's protecting the version of himself that exists in connection with you. When his friends make jokes at your expense, when family members question the relationship, when people make assumptions about you, he'll defend you quietly but firmly. Your reputation becomes tied to his own sense of integrity. Understanding these signs completely changes how you read an avoidant man's behavior. His emotional investment doesn't look like poetry and flowers. It looks like shared grocery trips and remembered conversations. It's not dramatic declarations. It's quiet loyalty and gradual inclusion in his private world. When you know what to look for, his feelings become much clearer, even when his words remain frustratingly vague. Have you recognized any of these signs in someone you know? Share your experience in the comments. If this helped you understand avoidant attachment better, like and subscribe for more insights into attachment behavior. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.